Hi, it's Ronnie, and welcome to a Punched Out Thursday to Die For, where we'll all be using our punches and or our dies. And I'm going to be using both on my layout today. I'm going to scrap this photo here of my granddaughter, and that die set came from AliExpress, and it didn't have a title on it. Um, I'm going to use like three or four out of there, that wheel, the notebook paper, a Polaroid frame, but I'm going to cut it where it's not a Polaroid frame anymore. I'm going to use that alpha there, and I was debating there because I thought I'm missing a set of dies. Well, I don't get to show it to you, and I can't remember for sure what it is. I am going to use that egg punch, that border punch, and the collection I'm using is PhotoPlay, Little Chef. My friend Kimberly sent it to me, and it's just the cutest. And it has such bright, colorful papers. Oh, and I have to apologize. My whole video is blurry. I will have to try to get that fixed before the next one. I wasn't sure if I'd be doing this video today or not because I got the stomach bug from my granddaughter, and I decided I felt good enough to go ahead and finish the layout and make the video. So it is, at least here, it is blurry, but it is here. Um, this is the Polaroid frame I was talking about. I cut the bottom off so it would match the other part, and I'm cutting it in half so it looks like I've got two instead of just the one. I wanted the variety of it, the edges of that recipe card. I love that red plaid. So I just wanted the parts that said from the kitchen of. And in my head, I had plenty more room alongside the photo. I think I did cut a tiny bit off the part that might be my problem. And I put that circle on there. And as you can tell, I couldn't really go up any higher, but it came down lower than the photo, but not as low as I like when I leave it and don't touch it. So I'm wanting to put some stuff down there to fill in that area. And this right here, oh, I'm doing the banner now. I'm not even doing that part. Um, but I am going to dress the banner up a little bit. I cut out of a scrap of the polka dot. I think it's polka dot. Yeah, it is. It's hard to tell. This is blurry. I am so very sorry. I even duct taped that lens up there. My camera's big and heavy. It's a Canon 70D for taking photos, of course, so it's not made to hang upside down. And the lens gets heavy and gets out of focus. But it did stay a lot longer than it has sometimes. Notice one day the tape was coming up and I put it back down, and that's been a while, so it's probably up again and actually moved this time. But I cut a few little banners and I'm tucking them in there. And then that little tiny punch that was still sitting on my desk, I am going to put them up there between the buntings. It just looks like a really tiny asterisk. And here I am hunting for one of the utensils that I planned on using. I only planned on two because there's one more on there, but I'm thinking of using it a different way on another layout. Now, I had three photos sitting there for months since Kimberly gave me this that I planned on using for this collection. But, I took this photo and I thought it was so cute. It is of Hope and I am. We're together on Easter. And she came out after the dinner and everything with a bunch of colored eggs. And her mama told me that I could make deviled eggs out of it, since that is Hope's favorite thing. I mean, period. And so we had her little table in the living room making these. And right at the end, I asked her, well, I said, do you want to lick the bowl? I expected her to use the spoon that she was dishing out into the egg. No, She looked at me and then she picked the bowl up and started to lick it. I said, no, no, use a spoon. She said, but you said I could lick it. And I said, you'll get it all in your hair. So she went ahead and used a spoon, but guess what? She did get some in her hair. And it was hard to get out because by the time I combed her hair, I guess it dried up. But I showed it to her. Anyway, behind her, I was playing YouTube videos, and there was one I did not care for being in the background because my TV was right there behind her. And I replaced the background. I looked up, well, she wanted, I said I was going to have to replace that when I realized it. And she wanted a child's kitchen, not an adult one, but a child's. So this is what came up, and it's a really cute kitchen. So that's what's behind her instead of the advertisement on the TV behind her. Oh, it was always commercial, is what it was, in case y'all have watched it. Um, let's see, where am I at? Oh, I cut out a couple of paperclip looking things a few times so that I could layer them. And this is the bigger one. And I really thought it would go there by the photo. I didn't care for it because it was polka dot on polka dot. And so I tried that stripe and it didn't work. And I tried putting it up higher. I didn't like it there, but it's finally going to make it over there on the left. I'll have to find something else to put up there in that spot. I am going to leave it empty between those two all the way up to editing the video. And I just couldn't think of nothing to put there. And I thought, well, I'll do it later. Then I forgot. Like I said, I wasn't feeling up to par. But I did go back and do it a while ago. So the last photo will have something there between the two. And the eggs, I showed the colors that I inked them in. And it was colors that I sort of found in the background paper there. They might be a little bit off, but they're the closest that I was able to find. And I am just putting the tape, the foam tape at the top of the eggs so they'll look just a little more dimensional instead of lying flat on the page. There was some scraps of the polka dotted, so I am using a banner here. I think that's the only two I use besides the ones on the bunting. But the little circle, it says, life is a combination of magic and food. And I am going to put a salt and pepper shaker down there since instead of it being something sweet, it is deviled eggs. And she had to call me because I sent them home with her since her mom's the one told me to make them. And she had to call and tell me that they were really good. She was worried. I put salt on them. And she says, do you always put salt on them? I said, yeah. Always? I said, yeah. She doesn't like salt. So usually I don't let her see me putting it on there. You know, you're only supposed to put enough to bring the other flavors out in the food, but not enough to taste the salt. So she was surprised that there was actually salt in those eggs since she doesn't like salt. But she does like them with salt. I punched out, well, several of the little tiny hearts from my Martha Stewart heart confetti punch, and I'm just adding them here and there around the page. And I think no, that is not the last thing I do, because remember, I want to fill in that little tiny spot there at the bottom of the photo. And looking at it now, I keep thinking I want one more thing on there, but I don't know what. But I'm wanting, looking at it, something to go a little ways across there. Um, and those hearts are really small, but they do show up on a layout pretty good. I showed the camera die there, and I didn't have anything but 12 by 12 pieces of this paper left other than that plaid there and the polka dot. And I didn't want to repeat them again, so I got a piece of scrap out of another PhotoPlay collection. Matches perfectly. It was Nomi's, a Christmas Nomi one. And so I cut out the camera in it and in red, so my button would be in red, and it'd make the whole thing a little more sturdy, and I could put foam tape behind it. And then in the background, I used, well, there's a red plaid paper in the collection, only I just used the front page packaging because I did not want to cut into 12 by 12 and put it behind the heart. That egg punch is a 1 inch and it's from Punch Bunch, and I've had it for a long time, but it really comes in handy for Easter layouts or cooking layouts. And I ink them, but I leave the white showing in the center, kind of like a highlight. So the outer edges are darker so they can not blend in so much with each other and stand out a little more with the rest of the eggs. And then it gets lighter towards the center. And that's it. That's my layout. But be sure to check out everybody else that is doing the Punched Out Thursday to Die for. And I'm kind of thinking it is only Kathy today, but I might be wrong. But that's it. I really want to thank y'all so very, very much for watching. And again, sorry for the blurry video. At least the photos are clear and such bright, pretty clear colors. Such a cute collection. But have a happy, scrappy week. Have fun on the hop. Bye.